Hi, I'm Kevin Harrington, an original shark from Shark Tank. Ultimate Bundles connects you with the best teachers online.
Hi, I'm Laura Burton with Mom Envy, and I'm here today to show you how you can take actionable steps to reach a goal. Do you have a goal that you just can't seem to reach, or do you make New Year's resolutions that you seem to give up by February every single year? Well, today I'm going to show you how you can finally take action and actually accomplish those goals once and for all. The distance between your dreams and reality is called action, and that is what I'm here today to teach you about. How to take a goal and make it a reality. And there's some steps that we can do to get there. My first section is dream it. Next, we're going to plan it, then we're going to do it, then we're going to keep on doing it. So the first section is dream it. As we start out talking about goal setting, I want to talk about how January is not your only option to start with goal planning. Everybody thinks that January is the only month that you can create goals. Everybody's making resolutions. It seems to be the time of year where everybody decides that they're finally going to set a goal. And then the problem is they most of the time give up with it by February, and then they don't do it again until it rolls around to January again the next year. So don't tell yourself that you have to wait until January to actually start a goal. If it's November and you've got a goal that you really want to work on, get started on it. I'm telling you, you will be happy that you didn't wait until January. The next thing I want to talk about is how there are two different types of goals. First, there are those goals that are like your big out there dream goals. Those are the goals that are going to change your life. Getting a new job. Maybe it's making a whole lot of money. Maybe it's getting a dream vacation house, whatever it is. Those are those goals that are kind of like your daydream goals, the things that you think about all the time wanting. But then there are those goals that honestly probably affect your life a little bit more. And those are your goals that come out of frustration. Those are the goals for things that you want to change in your life. And when you're thinking about setting goals, you want to think about not only those things that are like your daydream type of goals, but you want to think about the things that will actually fix those frustrations in your day-to-day life. So that brings us to our brain dump. If you don't know what a brain dump is, that's pretty much when you're just writing down whatever you think. It doesn't not need to be perfect. You're not going to worry about spelling. You're not going to worry about perfect grammar. You're not going to worry about whether or not your sentences even make sense. Think about making kind of like a little to-do list is all it is. It's just whatever you're thinking in your head written down on paper. So after you make your brain dump, you're going to go ahead and look at that list and you're going to come up with your big goal. You're going to focus on just one thing. You're not going to take that list and then come up with a bunch of different goals. Because if I'm being honest, picking a bunch of different goals is only going to lead to failure. You're going to be most successful if you take one goal and you stick with it. I want you to pick just one thing from that brain dump list, and we're going to use that now to make an action plan out of. So here are some examples for some long-term goals that you could come up with. Maybe you want to save $3,000 for a trip. Maybe you want to improve your overall health, and maybe you want to get a job promotion. So those are the things that we're going to use today as our examples for our long-term goals. Now, whatever your goal is, you're going to take it and you're going to enter the second phase, which is plan it. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take that goal and you're going to select mini goals. You're going to take this big goal and then you're going to come up with a bunch of little things that are kind of like the big goal, but they're not exactly the same. These goals are fitting underneath of your big goal. So they're all one big goal that you're working towards still. It's not like you're going to say that I'm going to work towards earning $3,000 and I'm also going to work on my health. Those are two completely different things. This is when you're going to focus on selecting mini goals that are related to your big goal. So let me use our examples to show you what I'm talking about. So for our first one, if I'm saving $3,000 for a trip, I'm going to save $1,000 as my first mini goal. And no surprise, my second goal is to save $1,000. And of course, my last goal would be the same, to save $1,000. Now, this is a pretty simple way to make mini goals out of this one big goal. But if you're doing a different type of goal, like this next one, improving overall health, your mini goals are going to look a lot different. So for the first one, you're going to eat healthier. The second one would be to get your body moving more. And then a third mini goal could be to take some me time. For our last one, again, it's going to look different than the last two. So for a job promotion, your first mini goal may be to get noticed. And your second mini goal may be to boost your resume. And your third mini goal may be to get more involved. Do you see how each of those mini goals, though, are related to the first goal. They all have to do with each other. You're going to make a concrete plan. People take these goals and then they make these mini goals and they throw them out there into the universe and they think, I'm just gonna work harder and I'm gonna eat healthier. But those aren't concrete actions. You actually have to come up with actions of things that you are going to do to work towards your goal. And that is what our focus is here today. If you take anything away from this, what I want you to take away is this. You need to make actual concrete actions, actual things that you are going to do, choices you are going to make every single day to work towards that goal. So let's look at what some examples could be. So for our first one, for saving $3,000 for a trip, your actionable steps could be, you're going to say no more Starbucks and you're going to limit your takeout food. You're going to maybe do some extra overtime at work. And you're going to hold a yard sale or you're going to sell items on Marketplace. All three of those are things that are actionable steps that are going to work towards your goal. So then let's look at our next one of improving your overall health. For your actionable steps, the first one is going to be to eat healthier. You're going to increase the amount of vegetables. Maybe you're going to say half of your plate at every meal is going to be vegetables. That is a concrete action. Next, you're going to say that for moving more, you're going to exercise 30 minutes 4 times a week. And for taking me time, you're going to replace 30 minutes of that mindless scrolling that you've been doing on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram. And you're going to replace that with 30 minutes of meditation a day, or maybe 30 minutes of reading a book, whatever works for you. And then lastly, for getting a job promotion, let's look at what our actionable steps could be for that. For getting noticed, you're going to take the lead on a project. For boosting your resume, you're going to take a course or an on-the-job training class that your job has been offering. And then lastly, for getting more involved, you're going to join a new committee. This way you can meet people. All of those are actionable steps. They are things that you're going to actually do. So whatever your goal is, you're going to create actionable steps to go with that goal so that you can actually accomplish it. Now, as you saw in those examples, not all plans are going to look the same, and that's okay. Your plan needs to work for you. It doesn't matter that it doesn't look like somebody else's on the internet, or it doesn't even look like the ones that I just shared. Your goal needs to work for you. So that means you have 2 actionable steps or 4 mini goals, or maybe you have 5 actionable steps. Do whatever is going to work best for you, but don't overdo it. And this is really important. You don't want to have 6 different goals going. And when it comes to mini goals, you don't want to have 7, 8, 9, 10 mini goals. When you get up that high of a number, oftentimes that goal needs to be split into 2 separate goals. And so in my plan, I have you actually stick to only at most 6 actionable steps and 6 mini goals. But for most things, I think that 3 actually works best. After you do all of that, the next thing you're going to do is you need to plan for the hurdles. And this is actually a really, really important step. Planning for the hurdles means that you're going to have obstacles that are going to come up and they're going to stop you from doing what it is that you want to accomplish. And you need to come up with whatever things will keep you going and get you to push through that hurdle. If you don't come up with concrete things to replace those obstacles now, when you get to that hurdle, you're not as likely to be able to successfully beat that hurdle. So you need to really come up with things ahead of time so that way you're prepared and you know the action you're going to take to get through that. Then you're going to get to your next phase. This is the phase where you're actually going to do the goal. You're going to work towards it. But oftentimes people get really frustrated because they feel like they're not motivated and they can't get started. But I'm going to be very honest with you. Motivation isn't coming. Motivation isn't going to just magically appear one day. You're not going to just wake up one day and be like, okay, I'm ready to do my goal today. You have to have action. You just have to do it. Nobody is going to be there pushing you to do it but yourself. You have to say to yourself that now is finally the time that you're going to work towards your goal. And you're just going to have to wake up one day and decide that that is day 1. Because that motivation isn't coming. And I know that that stinks, but it really isn't. The honest truth is, motivation comes when you start to see progress. But the only way to get progress is to actually start having some action. So start your plan, even if you don't feel like it, even if you're miserable and the idea of starting whatever your plan is sounds horrible. Just try it. Then if you're having a lot of trouble getting started, come up with some inspiration. Write down some positive affirmations. Come up with a vision board. Print your favorite quotes and put them all over your wall or put them on your mirror to see every single day. Then you're going to track your progress. And don't forget to reward yourself along the way. Have a couple of different rewards set up. So maybe after 2 weeks of doing it, maybe you get yourself a reward. Or maybe after a month of doing it, you get yourself a reward. Whatever the reward is should fit with your goal. The next section is to keep doing it. Oftentimes I find that people will give up. People will have a mistake. They'll have a bad day of eating. They will have broken down and bought Starbucks 3 days in a row. They will not have drank the water they said they were going to drink. And then they give up because they get frustrated and they feel like, oh, I've already messed up. Oh, well. But look at me. It's okay to mess up. It's really okay if you make a mistake. It's okay if you fall off the wagon a little bit. It's okay. That does not mean that you have to stop working towards your goal. Push through. Keep going. Go back to that action plan. That is why we made the action plan. That's why there are those concrete actions. Go back and start those actions today or tomorrow or next week. But don't let one slip up stop you from earning your goal. Don't let a little tiny mistake keep you from your full potential. The next thing also I want to talk about is you might want to work on reflecting. And this is not a have to do, but I do find that it helps to journal at night or to just stop and think about how things have been going, because reflecting will really help motivate you to keep going. And then just like it goes with number one, if something's not working, fix it. So it's okay to modify your plan. Again, this plan is for you and only you. If your plan isn't working, it's okay to scrap it and start all over. Or it's okay to just modify the plan a little bit to make it work better for you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, when you pick a goal, it's for you and only you. And when you create that action plan, creating those concrete steps are what's going to get you to actually finally accomplish that goal. Don't just throw it out there in the universe and hope that it happens. Create that action plan and track that progress. And I'm telling you, in a month or two from now, you're going to be so happy that you got started today. And don't forget, most importantly, that if you've got a little bump in the road, don't let it make you stop. Okay? It's okay. Just keep on going. I have total faith that you can do this. Good luck.